Thomas Jefferson is one of the most renowned founding figures of the United States and served as the third President of the United States from 1801 to 1809. Thomas Jefferson was born on April 13, 1743, in Shadwell, Virginia. At the time of his birth, Virginia was still one of the English colonies in America. The Jefferson family belonged to the upper middle class of colonial Virginia. His father, Peter Jefferson, was a fairly successful farmer with extensive land holdings. Peter Jefferson was also known as a colonial official who played a role in the formation and surveying of Virginia's borders. Thomas Jefferson's mother was Jane Randolph Jefferson, who came from a prominent family in Virginia. The Randolph family had a long history in the politics and social life of the colony. The Jefferson family's connection to the Randolph family added a social status element to their own. Although the Jefferson family belonged to the relatively influential social class in colonial Virginia, they were still farmers and worked in agriculture. Like many children in the American colonies at that time, Thomas Jefferson received his early education from a private tutor. His parents, although not scholars, endeavored to provide their children with a good education. At home, Jefferson was taught to read, write, and do arithmetic, which laid the important foundation for further education. After completing his early education, Jefferson continued his higher education at the College of William and Mary in Virginia. He entered this college in 1760. The College of William and Mary was one of the oldest colleges in the United States and was a significant center of education in its time. Jefferson was known as a highly gifted student. He showed a strong interest in various subjects, including natural science, philosophy, and languages. His talent and fascination with science and Enlightenment thinking greatly influenced his intellectual development. His education at the College of William and Mary provided Jefferson with access to the evolving Enlightenment ideas from Europe. The Enlightenment was an intellectual movement that emphasized rationality, science, and human rights. Thomas Jefferson's education and learning experiences at the College of William and Mary, as well as his interests in various subjects, formed the broad and intellectual basis of his thinking. After completing his higher education at the College of William and Mary, Thomas Jefferson began his legal career as a lawyer in Virginia. His legal career was the initial step in a long journey of career and leadership. As a lawyer, he became involved in various legal cases and provided legal services to the people of Virginia. His legal education and practical experience as a lawyer gave him a strong understanding of the law, which he later used in drafting the Declaration of Independence. The writing of the Declaration of Independence was one of the greatest achievements in Thomas Jefferson's career. This document reflected his understanding of law, political philosophy, and Enlightenment principles. The Declaration of Independence not only declared the intention of the 13 colonies to separate from England but also defined human rights and fundamental principles of just governance. With the assistance of other committee members, Jefferson created a powerful and influential text that set the legal and philosophical foundation for American independence. In his writing, he emphasized the importance of individual rights and the people's right to establish a government they deemed legitimate. Furthermore, during the American Revolutionary War, Thomas Jefferson played a significant role as the governor of Virginia. He served from 1779 to 1781. His tenure occurred during the critical period of the war and involved various challenges, including British attacks in Virginia. Although his term ended in chaos due to British invasions, his role as governor solidified his contribution to the struggle for American independence. In 1785, Thomas Jefferson was appointed as the United States ambassador to France. During his mission in France, Jefferson was influenced by the emerging Enlightenment ideas in Europe. He established contacts with many famous figures, such as Marquis de Lafayette, and observed the political and social developments in France. His important diplomatic task was to support relations between France and the United States and attempt to negotiate favorable trade agreements between the two countries. Following his career in writing the Declaration of Independence, serving as the governor of Virginia, and his diplomatic mission in France, Thomas Jefferson entered the world of American politics more directly. He was elected as the third President of the United States in 1801 and served for 2 terms from 1801 to 1809. During his presidency, Jefferson achieved many accomplishments and played a crucial role in the early development of the United States. One of the major achievements during his presidency was the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. This acquisition involved a vast territory encompassing most of the central and western regions of the present-day United States. The United States purchased this territory from France under the leadership of Napoleon Bonaparte in what is known as the Louisiana Purchase. The significance of the Louisiana Purchase cannot be understated. It doubled the size of the United States and opened up extensive lands for settlement and exploration. Additionally, it provided vital access to the Mississippi River and the port of New Orleans, which held strategic value in trade and transportation. This agreement stands as one of the most influential events in the history of American territorial expansion. Thomas Jefferson, who initially doubted the presidential authority to make such a significant land purchase, viewed this as an opportunity to expand the nation and enhance the sustainability of the United States. The Louisiana Purchase also reflected his belief in Enlightenment ideals and his vision of national expansion influenced by Enlightenment thought. During Thomas Jefferson's presidency, he not only achieved the significant Louisiana Purchase but also led the country through various other crucial developments, including diplomatic challenges with Britain and France and the implementation of the Embargo Act. His role in expanding American territory and facing diplomatic challenges is an integral part of his historical legacy. After serving as president, Jefferson retired from politics and returned to Monticello, his home in Virginia. He spent a great deal of time pursuing his personal interests, such as farming, natural science, and architecture. Jefferson was a highly productive thinker and scientist. He collected books and had a vast personal library. He was also known as a music lover and a violin player. Although Jefferson owned slaves, he is also regarded as one of the figures who influenced the abolition of slavery. He wrote about his disapproval of slavery in several of his writings. Thomas Jefferson passed away on July 4, 1826, at the age of 83, on the exact anniversary of the Declaration of Independence that he had authored. He died just a few hours before John Adams, the second President of the United States, who was also his friend.